Hello, my divinities. Welcome, welcome. My name is Salora, and I'm going to be repeating that often so that we're all on the same page. I know it's changed for all of us, but that way we all get used to it, okay? So, I decided to give you guys a couple of weeks instead of just 1 week to watch the movie of Good on Paper because I I can't even emphasize how important I think it is to watch that movie because it's like we can look at it from an outside perspective. And I've seen so many of you who have already watched it. I'm so proud of you. Some of you have mentioned being unable to watch it currently, and that's fine. I get it. Not everybody will be able to do so. So if you can, absolutely watch it with the rest of us. And if you can't, that's fine. I'll make the post soon where I'll, break it down, and then you guys will still get a pretty good piece of what we're talking about, okay? So let's go ahead and get started with today's collective. We are very, very close to Halloween. Today is Wednesday, October 30th. So we're using Halloween. School of Flowers, Creating Through the Ashes, okay? Oh, we got several. Okay. School of Flowers, Creating Through the Ashes, Invisibility, Authenticity, The Underworld, Where All Things Pause and Begin Again, Cauldron, Synergy and Healing, The Overall Energy, Night Song, Hidden Talents. So, just off of these alone, and I haven't even read the message, but we're going to read it in a minute. But just off of what I'm seeing here, I feel like this is very connected to somebody possibly going through a hard time, because these two make me think somebody's going through some issues, the ashes and then the underworld where all things pause and begin again. You might be on pause for now. You might not be really moving forward, but it's telling you to kind of push through. Maybe you're on pause because you feel invisible or you want to be invisible. Let's read the messages because there's hidden talents that they want you to, let's see. This one says, a ruby red bird singing in the darkness full of sound, like an unopened present, ribbons still bound. A bird singing at night is an unusual occurrence, and those birds who are known as singers of the darkness are almost always considered sacred or frightening. From the operatic nightingale through to the hooting owl, hearing a bird that you cannot see weaving its magic through the night sky has captivated humans for millennia. In the past, at Halloween time, a night that the veil between the worlds was said to be at its thinnest, these night birds were considered either omens or messengers of the god. Depending on the culture, their voices were perceived as good luck and a positive validation, or alternatively, a warning about continuing on a certain path. In some mythology, the night bird was able to direct us towards discovering our talents and true purpose, a kind of guide in the darkness leading us to the dawn. Should this beautiful but shy bird sing to you by appearing during your divination, know that you must unwrap the present yourself. Look, some of the gifts within you remain unopened. The time has come to step into your true potential and claim all possibilities for yourself. There is no more time to waste. No more excuses. Hold on. Okay, I just want to make sure that the incense went out. I mean the stick. Palo Santo. Okay, very good. School of Flowers. Okay, so this one says, to blossom and bloom, the work must be done. Through fire and ashes, our fortune comes. Before flowers are born, they are sweet buds on a plant that came from a smaller form like a seed or a bulb. The seed needs prepared, nourishing soil to grow to its potential. Some plants and trees only seed after fire or a period of extreme adversity like drought or flood. Sometimes we wish for a life different from the one we have, and that can mean radical change. Sometimes to have that new life, everything falls apart to make it so, and that can be uncomfortable. We may lose our relationships or they may change. We might lose a job, have to move house, or become ill. all big events that lead to a reassessment of the how of our lives. The School of Flowers illustrates that there is a sureness and yet a rawness to creating again, to starting afresh. Sometimes the universe gives us a blank slate to work from so we can build what we really want rather than just settling for less. The School of Flowers celebrates not just a kind of phoenix energy, but an energy of success and full bloom through adversity. I told you. It's saying no excuses. You can bloom through adversity. Let's see. Invisibility. Okay. This one says, you know that feeling you sometimes have that someone is watching you? You cannot see them, yet you have a distinct feeling that someone is there. All the hairs are up on the back of your neck. You think you see something in the corner of your eye, but when you turn, there is nothing to be seen but empty air. This is the power of invisibility, the indirect fear and the covert threat of having to fight something that we cannot see. Humans have a strong visual sense, so it is no wonder that we are uneasy about things we cannot see. The ancients believed that all manners of creatures, mythical and physical, and of course the deities, could make themselves invisible at will. When we consider that some animals are camouflaged so well by their coats or behavior that sometimes, even if we are looking straight at them, they are hard to see within their environment, that invisibility isn't such a far-fetched concept. In many cultures, the idea of beings who could watch us undetected were, and still are, common. Jinns, angels, nature spirits, the fae, and even practitioners of magic such as witches are said to have the power to appear and disappear at will. Later, in literature and then in movies, invisibility becomes a common power, and we now have fictional superheroes that are invisible and even cloaks of invisibility. The concept of invisibility is a double-edged sword. Whilst it is a powerful tool to be able to gain information or to assist while no one sees, individuals using it are privy to information that may not be meant for them, and it may be taken out of context or unethically used. It is a power of manipulation and easily abused. The idea of hiding away and not being seen is also a big part of the dark side of this concept. We are all born to shine our light out into the world and to take our roles. Hiding our lanterns, not expressing our true selves, stealing others' ideas or work, and being someone else rather than your authentic self are all aspects to consider should this card appear in your reading. Okay. Now, let's look at the underworld. Where all things... Oh, I forgot to turn this candle off. Hold on. All right. This one says, another realm, shadow-filled, travel from death's bed where we stop and transform within the realm of the dead. The idea of an underworld, a whole realm that we go to after we die, is a concept that crosses a huge variety of cultures and eras. The Sumerians, the Turkish, the Incas, the Greeks, through to the Siberians, the Maori, and the Khmers, all had a distinct word for the underworld. What is different, though, is how those cultures treat this concept. Sorry, I got distracted. How these cultures treat that concept. Here we go. Whether the underworld is seen as a place of rest and rejuvenation or horror and punishment. The Christian hell is a place of darkness, fire, and punishment. The Egyptian underworld is one of judgment, peace, and renewal. In Maori culture, it is an in-between place of waiting, wisdom, and transition. Many myths that mention the underworld often involve the concept of a place of waiting and of trials and eventual judgment. It can also be a place of joy and peace. Should the underworld card be present in your reading, you are being asked to consider exactly what you have to do to transform your life into something you find easier or more authentic to you. This may involve changing course. It may involve trials and tests. Keep moving. Whilst things may fall away and your life may appear bare for a time, this is temporary. Space is being made into which you can create the new. Okay, now let's look at Cauldron, Synergy and Healing. This one says, where all things come together, under pressure, flowful synergy, a new thing is created, a crucible of infinity. A typical depiction of a witch sees her standing over a boiling cauldron, slowly stirring the bubbling and mysterious contents. As she stirs the enormous metal pot over the raw flames, she cackles and incants commands to all the elements, transforming the contents into something magical. Cauldrons were commonly used in ancient and medieval times for everything from the nightly meal to the making of medicines. This family crucible was usually placed within the hearth of the home, making it an essential part of the gathering of family. Much healing and nourishment came from the cauldron. Should you receive the cauldron card, it indicates the importance of combining a variety of techniques or elements to get the best result. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. Refuse to choose just a single rigid pathway when a variety of ways are there to be enjoyed and experienced. You can find your own ways to create something new. The cauldron is a deeply transformational tool. Things change once they are put under pressure. Resilience is being cultivated over time, and this means that you will be able to withstand any negative pressure much more healthily from the inside out. Oh, interesting. So whoever this collective resonates with will be people who are going through adversity, right? But it's saying this is not an excuse, guys. You're being guided, because remember, the birds, sometimes if you hear the bird at night, it's telling you don't go down this path, or it's just, a messenger bird. But you're being given guidance because you have hidden talents that need to be brought to light. You may be trying to stay invisible because maybe, you are going through a lot. Maybe you feel like the more you hide, the less you'll have to deal with certain things. But it's saying you have the ability to bloom through adversity. In fact, this is saying the adversity is helping you create resilience. But something needs to change. Like the okay. So this feels like a Saturn thing. Hold on, let me put this. This may be a Saturn transit, or I don't know, something Saturnian is happening because this is Saturn energy right here, where we are in this place of we're going through adversity, and it's like it's meant to teach you something. So for example, let's say that, let's think of something that happens that we don't like. You're running late for work, you go out to your car and you realize it has a flat tire. Nobody welcomes that unless they hate their job, right? Well, there you go. Unless they hate their job, that's exciting. So if that's what's happening, it could be telling you, you probably need to switch jobs. If you're so excited about missing work that you welcome a flat tire, what it's trying to teach you is that you need a new job, because if you hate your job that much that you'd rather not get paid and have adversity so you don't have to go to work, that's a problem, right? Now, other people who don't hate their job would be struggling in different ways. So that lesson will be like, from now on, before they go to bed, they're going to go check the tires, right? Because that's teaching them you can't wait until the morning to be checking tires, because maybe they had already stepped on a nail. Hold on, there's a really strange smell. I'm trying to place it. So I keep checking the incense because I'm like, what the hell? It smells like, what is that smell? Is it the incense? Something inside the incense? Hold on. No, it's not the incense. Not this again. Was it this? Yep, there's the smell. Okay. I was like, where the hell is that smell coming from? I knew it was coming from the Palo Santo. The Palo Santo accidentally lit up a plastic And I was like, where the hell? Sorry, that was a weird smell. I had to stop. See? Okay. let's use that example because that's exactly what adversity is. It means something unpleasant is happening. For me, it was a smell. That was a very unpleasant smell. If we want it to stop, if we want the adversity to stop, we want whatever is happening to stop, that means something in our life has to change. This is why we say humans learn through pain, because if it's not uncomfortable, we most likely will stay doing the same thing forever. It's not until things get uncomfortable for us that we change. So, whatever's happening here, whatever it is that we are dealing with, it's showing us that if we want the adversity to stop, we have to change things in our life. So, let's see. We're going to be using the Hocus Pocus Tarot. I literally watched the movies, so I would make sure to use the cards in the right context. Besides, it's a Halloween classic, you know. The Hermit. Billy. Okay, well, let's put this in the middle. Let's see. What do we need to know? The 9 of Lightning. The 7 of Lightning. That's not great. The 7 of Lightning is usually like the 7 of Swords. Not being honest with oneself. 6 of Candles. 5 of Candles. Yeah, 2 of Candles. Action needs to be taken, basically. The Chariot. 9 of Potions. Okay. So I feel like this is for people who are not happy with their current existence. They're just not. Their current way of living is not exciting to them. And they've got ideas on how to change it. But it almost feels like a wish. Like it's something that they fantasize about. It's something that they think one day. Well, you can. With the Chariot, as long as you take action, that doesn't have to just be one day. You just have to move. You have to do something. 2 of Wands is Aries Mars energy. Action needs to be taken, y'all. So with the Hermit, you're most likely feeling very tired. You're most likely very isolated. You're not really around a lot of people. You may have trouble sleeping, and it's telling you that's because you're not really happy with your life. You are not really excited about where you're at. And you're lying to yourself. So maybe it's comfortable. Maybe it's easier. Something about your life is comfortable. It's easier where you're at. With the 6 of Candles, there's something about, maybe for some of you, it's not so much about the ease about it, but maybe you have people who praise you. Like maybe you take care of a parent or a sibling, and so they're always telling you, oh, you're such a great daughter, you're such a great son, you're such a great brother or sister, and you like hearing that praise. But in reality, there's a lot of conflict. And this is where you need to pay attention, because the 6 of Candles with the 2 of Candles is divine messages, right? Clearly, the night song, it's like messengers. That means I'm not the only reader that you've probably come across telling you these things, but you might get a little defensive. With the 5 of Candles and the 2 of Candles, you're kind of like, oh no, you don't understand. You make excuses. And not only that, but you are ignoring the fact that this applies to relationships of all kinds, whether it's work relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, all sorts of connections. When the majority of your time, at least half of your time, is spent in conflict, in arguments, and fighting, that's not a healthy connection. Even if you care for that person. And I'm not saying this is between you and someone else. It could be at work. It could be that your job is high stress, because 9 of Lightning, that's the 9 of Swords. Hold on. I feel like I didn't really turn off the plastic because I can still smell this thing. Hold on. Made sure. God, that smell was awful. Anywho, it's clearly not, you're not happy. Because although you may get your ego stroked, we have the 9 of Swords, 7 of Swords, 5 of Wands. It has you in a lot of anxiety. It has you in a place where you're really unhappy. You're not at peace. That's also why the underworld, it says where all things pause and begin again. Remember, you define what the underworld is. And let's use the underworld as an expression or a symbolic, a symbol of when you're at home alone. Is it hell? Is it a place of rest and rejuvenation? What is it? Because you're the one that defines that. If your home is a hell, then that means that you need to manifest the fuck out of that, out of that place, right? But sometimes we're so comfortable that if we don't get the same level of comfortability somewhere else, we'd rather stay, even if it's clearly not doing us any good. Clarify the Hermit. Let's see. Okay, we're clarifying the Hermit. We've got the High Priestess, 6 of Bats, which is the 6 of Swords, 2 of Bats, 2 of Swords, 7 of Imps. The Hermit, again. The 9 of Pumpkins, 7 of Pumpkins. Okay, so this is difficult because I've been here before. And so I understand. This is for people who have a hard time investing. You want the 9 of Pumpkins life, which is the 9 of Coins, but the 7 of Coins is difficult. Putting in a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of energy into something for years and years nonstop, it feels boring to you. And once upon a time, I was in that place too. But that tells you that you are not in the right place. Because I used to be the same way, and then I realized that I was that way because I had not found something I was passionate about yet. Once I found tarot, once I found astrology, once I found shadow work, I realized, oh my God, I just had not found what I'm passionate about. Now I've dedicated years and years to this. So with the High Priestess, some of you might be asking for guidance, this is the response, right? They're responding through readings, not just mine, but other people most likely. But they're giving you solutions. They're giving you a way out. So whatever questions you're asking, I don't know the questions, right? So I'm just doing the readings, but the answers will be present in the readings, not just mine, but whoever else you watch. Because what they're trying to tell you, though, with the 7 of Swords and the 2 of Swords here, they're telling you that the answers may be present, but are you willing to listen? Are you willing to stop lying to yourself? Because remember, 7 of Wands, what did I say? 5 of Wands, 2 of Wands. You get defensive. You're trying to fit in. You see how there's this man here who's wearing a suit where the other ones are natural imps? He's not. But he's trying to fit in. So you are trying to fit in an environment, in a place where you don't actually fit in. But you're not ready to leave. Clarify 9 of Lightning. Clarify 9 of Lightning. The Lovers. Oh. 10 of Pumpkins. Clarify 9 of Lightning. Page of Pumpkins. With the Empress. 4 of Bats. There's the 9 of Bats again. 9 of Swords. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I think that this is especially relevant because here the Empress is sleeping, right? But then we got nightmares. If you're somebody who's getting a lot of nightmares, I think that you might be scared that the nightmares are you might be scared that the nightmares are coming from a source that they're not actually coming from. I think that the nightmares are a warning, and you're trying to take it like somebody must be doing black magic on me because it's a vampire coming in through the window, right? When in reality, you see the letters? The messages are being ignored because you think it's something else, when it's not. 10 of Pumpkins, this is a place where you have a lot of stability. The Empress could also be a mother, like maybe you live with your mother or you live with your children. This could also be an older sister, or you are the older sister. There's some sort of like a mother figure present. Now, it could also be your boss. Maybe this isn't a job. I mean, maybe this isn't family. This is a job. And your boss is like a mother to you. Things like that. Whatever it is, you don't feel ready. Or vice versa. If it's your children, you feel like they're not ready though. They're not ready to be on their own. So I don't feel comfortable telling them to leave. Whatever it is, either you're not ready or you feel like somebody around you isn't ready to be without you. So of course, what does that mean? It means codependency. Because I feel like it's you, because it's saying you can bloom through adversity. But if it is someone else and you're worried about someone else being without you, well, they're telling you, guess what? That person will bloom through adversity. You are... This is something my guides told me, especially lately, because I had to cut off a lot of people, and some people were very, very, very near and dear to my heart. And they told me, you are blocking the growth of these people because you do a lot for them. You do so much for them that you're not allowing them to grow through their mistakes. You're trying to protect them from every possible thing that could go wrong instead of just getting out of the fucking way and letting them learn through their mistakes. Because guess what? What did I just say? Humans learn through pain. And my dumbass was trying to avoid them having any pain. And they're like, yeah, well, they're not going to grow. That's why you're stunting their growth. You think you're taking care of them. In reality, you are being selfish, which definitely helped me stay away because I don't want to be selfish, right? So that's kind of what's happening here. Whoever is in Empress mode is so protective, or vice versa. Others are protective of you. I don't know if you're the page or you're the Empress. You decide. You decide whether you're the person that feels unprepared to face life without whatever this is, without this cushion, or whether you're the person that's creating the cushion for others because you don't want them to go through difficulties. Clarify 7 of Lightning. Page of Imps. 5 of Imps. 3 of Cups. I want to mention something else. The 8 of Imps. Ace of Pumpkins. I want to mention something else. When I was growing up, my dad, who is a Capricorn, and then my mom is a Capricorn moon. He's a Capricorn sun, she's a Capricorn moon. So yeah, they got married. But anyways, so they're both the type of people that wanted to teach us a lot growing up. And we, as children and teenagers, didn't really appreciate their effort, clearly. I remember when I was a child, and I got in trouble for it. I promise you, my parents did not let us get away with that bullshit. But when I was a child, I hated washing dishes so much. I still do, clearly. That didn't change. If my mom would put me to wash dishes, I would break them while I was washing because I hated washing dishes. Now, I got in trouble and I had to continue washing dishes. That didn't save me from washing dishes. But a lot of skills that my parents taught us while we were growing up, we didn't really appreciate. We thought it's unfair. We want to go play. We want to go do things like normal kids, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? As an adult, I realized that they prepared us in a lot more ways than we ever predicted for life. So there's things that might not be fun, but later on you'll realize, oh my God, that was such a great thing for me to learn. So whether you are the person who is scared of facing life, or whether you're the person that is scared of releasing others so that they can face life, think of, we're doing the little, somebody's about to be kicked out of the nest. I don't know if you are the one that has to be kicking someone else out of the nest, go learn how to fly, or if you are the little chick being kicked out, one of the two. With the 7 of Swords, somebody here is like, look, I don't think, I'm going to say that you're the page because this is the energy I feel. Someone here is like, I don't think I'm ready. But you're also excited about the prospect. Well, you're conflicted. 5 of Wands. I think that conflict is 2 different things. On one hand, you're conflicted about leaving your nest. But on the other hand, the 3 of Cups, these could be roommates. These could be friends. It might not even be leaving a home. It could be leaving an environment. Like, you may have friends that aren't really good for you, and you know that they're not good for you. But because they butter you up and call you a biscuit, they kiss your ass basically, you have someone to talk to, you feel supported, you don't want to let them go. But there's better things out there. You know, this is weird. I just realized we have the Queen of Wands and the Empress. So this could be the fact that somebody wants to have a relationship with a Queen of Wands who is also an Empress. But when they're around their friends, they turn into a page. And this might be a message from Spirit that they're not going to be able to move past this. Like, their life is clearly uncomfortable. They're not going to be able to get what they want unless they're willing to stop lying to themselves and make some changes. Because for now, they're going to remain invisible to the Empress. She won't even be able to see them. Because Spirit is protecting her. So that's also a possibility of this, what this message could mean. Clarify 6 of Candles. Clarify 6 of Candles. So far we've got the Strength card, we've got the Death card. Oof, clarify 6 of Candles. The Star. Justice, King of Wands, Knight of Pumpkins. You know, I'm going to share another personal story with you guys. I've been married before, right? I'm divorced. And the person I was married to is somebody who was born in Mexico. But by the time he and I got together, he was already in his 30s. He had been here since he was like 19, okay? But when he got here, his elder siblings were already here, his elder brothers. And so he was so used to them telling him what to do. I didn't see that. I didn't see, while we were dating, I never realized that because they never acted that way in front of me and my family. But it wasn't until we were close to getting married that I realized that he didn't even pay his own bills. He would give his paycheck to the eldest brother's wife, and then she would keep the money and pay his bills for him and then just give him an allowance. That should have been a red flag right there. But I had already canceled another wedding before this. So I was like, I can't just go around canceling weddings. And I thought, well, this is something we can work on. Big mistake, but still. That's the kind of energy I'm feeling here. Like, somebody thinks that they're helping. But he was a grown-ass man, and he was in his 30s, and he still didn't pay his own bills. And when we got married, that was such an issue because he had no independence. He did not have an independent thought whatsoever. And it was so difficult realizing that along the way. Now, I was very young at the time, so I didn't realize those. I was 23, okay? So at the time, I didn't know how to read those red flags. I just thought that was bad, but I didn't realize this is a red flag. So I'm going to stop part 1 here because I feel like it's getting too long before I cut it off. But that's the type of energy I'm sensing here. If you help someone too much, you're actually handicapping them. You are taking away their ability to be independent. You're taking away their ability to make choices for themselves. And therefore, their talents are hidden and they become invisible because you're not letting them grow. You're not letting them bloom through adversity. So that's what I got for you. If you are already on Patreon, I will see you on the other side for part 2. Okay, bye-bye.